Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Aberdeen Unitarians. My name is Kyle McDonald, and I'm a member of Dundee Unitarians and a ministry student. And I can say with utmost certainty that it's absolutely wonderful to be invited to join you all again. I've been wanting to make the trip back for a wee while, just over a year now, so I'm absolutely overjoyed that I can do that. So thank you so much. If it is your first time to our service, then thank you for coming along and being safe in the knowledge that whatever your creed, gender, race, sexuality, or beliefs, all are welcome here. To regular attenders here, thank you for coming along and supporting your congregation. For those on Zoom, Malcolm, thank you for coming online. Please be patient with me, Malcolm. There'll be the PowerPoint always showing. Do we have any notices? No notices. Keeps nice and simple for me, thank you. And now I ask you all to take a moment to take a deep breath in. Find a stillness within and bring yourself to our sacred space of worship this morning. For those of you who may be new to our service or unsure, lighting the chalice has become one of the distinguishing badges of Unitarian service. The chalice represents the chalice of communion and community that we offer to all people without condition or reservation, regardless of your belief or creed. The flame that will be lit represents the spirit of truth, love, and liberty for all. These words are by Cliff Reed. As we draw in and gather ourselves to this sacred space of worship today, we, like many other Unitarians nationwide, light our chalice flame. May ours be a morning light to guide the young, a shining noonday sun to make our lives way plain, and a fire warm and welcoming when evening comes. It is no surprise that our first hymn of this morning is Here We Have Gathered, which is purple number 62. Here We Have Gathered. The words will appear on the screen as will music. Malcolm, you might get some feedback. don't know me very well, but it is my usual custom to go through the history books and see what happened this day in history. And I've been asked by a few people, mostly by my English counterparts, Kyle, why do you do that? Firstly, I love history. And I fully believe that in the past, we can learn the biggest lessons for the future. It also allows for those events to never be forgotten, as unfortunately they often are. And secondly, you'd be amazed at the inspiration that you can get from those events and significant days. For example, today, May 17th, 1954, American lawyer Thurgood Marshall scored a landmark victory in the US Supreme Court, ruling that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. It was just one event of many that sparked the US civil rights movement. In 1866, a bit further back, French composer Erik Satie, whose spare, unconventional, often witty style exerted a massive influence on 20th century music, was born in France. To mark his 160th birthday, I'll be playing a piece of his music later. Kind of got to. But one of the best and most surprising facts for me, the animated movie Shrek had its nationwide release in America. It went on to become the first movie to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Now we may have Princess Fiona sitting in the pews, but there's definitely Donkey in the pulpit. And it was through thinking of these events, particularly the civil rights one, that I came to think of hope. Because in the civil rights movement, they never left. They had hope, and they had guiding lights. But first, a story. This is the story of the three brothers. Young man, I don't know if you have any brothers, but please be the third one. Just you wait for it. A rich man, he died. He called his three sons to his bedside and said to them, I want to keep my wealth intact, so only one of you will inherit it. Lad, I am going to set you a task, and that whichever one of you performs it best will be my sole heir. There are 3 large storerooms in my warehouse, one for each of you. Here is a bag of money each. Buy whatever you like with it. But the one who completely fills my storeroom will be my heir. Oh. The eldest son spent his money on cabbages. Maybe he was from Ferrisborough, I don't know. There'd been a good crop that year, and they were being sold very, very cheaply. Even so, all the cabbages he could buy only filled half of his storeroom. The smell was horrific. The middle son thought, what is the cheapest most plentiful substance around. I know, sand. He bought tons of it, and he paid many men to transport it from the beach to the storeroom. But by the time he had spent all of his money, his storeroom was only 3/4 full. He was finding sand in his shoes for months. But the youngest son was blessed with a little bit of wisdom and watching his brother's mistakes. He bought very, very little. He bought some matches and candles. In no time at all, and at very little expense, he was able to fill his storeroom with light. The three brothers. Now, we're going to have a bit of a first in Aberdeen today. Because for the first time, Fiona is going to take to the pulpit in a Unitarian congregation. And she will do a reading for us. Thank you. No pressure.
And it's Princess.
It's Princess.
The reading is called Light Bearers by Cliff Reed. In the darkness of centuries, we have sought the light. We have reverenced those in whom it is shown to illuminate the path. But we have feared the light as well, and we have snuffed out those in whom the flame burned too brightly. They lit up corners we would rather have kept in shadow. Recall us to our seeking, and may we see again the divine truth, flaming brightly in the lantern souls of humankind. Help us to receive the light and make it ours. It illuminates the way to a glorious destiny, a freedom we can scarcely comprehend, a love that dispels the shades of death. Unite us beyond all barriers of time and space, with all whose spirits have been kindled by your spirit. May we leave behind the hatred and the arrogance of the darkness, share the glimpses of the brilliance that each has seen, and make us your light bearers to those who fear the night.
She's a superstar. I'll ask us to lift our voices again for the second time this morning. And this is going to be hymn number 30 from your purple book. The words will appear on the screen. Each seeking faith is seeking light. You can possibly detect a bit of a theme going on. Trust in patents free and just, till every family on earth is in each living faith is seeking life, and life flows through us seeking to treasure, feel, and show the heart of what we know. In everything like the light, shining Thank you. The late Mary Oliver once wrote, "Someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this, too, was a gift." To be human is to eventually find yourself standing in the dark. Whether it's the personal darkness of grief, the collective shadow of a world that seems to be fracturing, or the quiet, existential dark night of the soul, where our purpose feels obscured. We all know the terrain of the unlit path. In our many Unitarian minds and hearts, we do not claim that the darkness isn't real. We are not a people of easy answers or blind optimism. We don't suggest that if you just think positively, the night will vanish. Instead, I think we like to think of ourselves as people of the light. But not a light that erases the dark, but a light that helps us navigate through it. I don't know if or how many of us are scientists or star watchers, but think for a moment about the physics of a star. That light that's hitting you from your eyes from a clear, dark night has traveled unthinkable distances, sometimes for hundreds, thousands of years. When we look up, we are technically looking into the past to find our way into the future. In our spiritual lives, hope is a guiding star because it offers a perspective. This is a hope as an act of transcendence. In the heat of a personal crisis or the cold reality of a global tragedy, our vision tends to narrow. We become trapped in the now. And when the now is dark, it can feel eternal. But the guiding star reminds us that there is a reality beyond our current horizon. It's that celestial reminder that we are part of a vast, unfolding cosmos that does not begin or end with our immediate pain. So perhaps, for Unitarians and those who may think like us, the stars along hope. It is the recognition that while we may be living through a dark chapters, we are not the authors of the entire book. We might look to those stars to remember that the very same carbon that runs through our veins was forged in the hearts of those very stars. We are made of stardust indeed. But that's not just poetry. It's a truth. When we feel small and extinguished, the star whispers, "You are made of light that has endured for aeons. You are not so easily swallowed by the shadows." But those same stars allow us to build constellations. One point of light might seem random, but when we connect those dots, the small acts of kindness that we've witnessed, the progress that humanity has scraped together, the moments of beauty that has pierced our grief, we can create a map with that. Hope is the courage to keep drawing those lines. The refusal to see the night as a void, choosing instead to see it as canvas for a much larger story. Maybe it's the pulse of the universe. And it doesn't require the sun to be up to exist. It simply asks us to lift our gaze up high enough to see that the darkness is actually the very thing that allows the most enduring truth to become visible. Can you see the stars in the sunlight? And if the star is a distant ideal, the lighthouse is the practical, earthly manifestation of our care for one another. I'm flipping you all over the place today. I'm keeping your minds going. See, I find lighthouses to be fascinating structures. Fiona will agree, I'm obsessed by them. My house is full of them. See, lighthouses are built exactly where the world is at their most dangerous. They're on jagged rocks, shallow shoals, the places where the waves are most violent. But they don't make the rocks go away. They don't calm the storm. A lighthouse simply says, I see you. Here's the danger. And here's the way home. A little bit of geekiness now, though, if there wasn't enough about the physics. Inside that lighthouse is a Fresnel lens. A masterpiece of engineering. Simple, but a masterpiece. It's a relatively small light source placed in the center, and a series of complex glass prisms capture every stray beam of light, bends them, intensifies them into a single powerful beam that can be seen for miles. Brilliant. And this is exactly what we do here in this community. Individually, I bet you think that your light feels small. But when we come together in our community, when we bring our diverse perspectives, our shared values, and our collective resources, we create a Fresnel lens. We take the individual beams of our hopes and we focus them. We become a lighthouse for each other. But that alone reminds us that hope is work. Because a lighthouse requires keepers. Most of the time. Okay, technology has moved on, but follow me. It requires somebody to trim that wick, to polish the glass, to ensure the fuel doesn't run dry. And in our faith, hope is a spiritual practice, spiritual discipline. We keep the light for the person sitting next to you. Because they might be sitting in total darkness today. They might not have any light of their own, but they can see ours. We can hold the light until they can find their own match again, filling that storeroom with light. And that brings me to the most intimate of lights, a tiny little candle flame. The star is cosmic. The lighthouse is communal. Our little candle is personal. It could be seen as the inner light that the Quakers speak of, and that we symbolize every week with our flaming chalice. I actually think, mostly because I wrote this myself, so you know, the candle flame is arguably the most miraculous of all three because of its fragility. A gust of wind can blow it out. A heavy rain can douse it. It is small, vulnerable, and consumes itself to provide warmth and vision. And yet, that right there is a profound physical truth about it. The thing is, the darkness can't defend itself against it. If you add a single candle into the darkest room, that darkness is fundamentally altered. Turn off all the lights in here, close the doors, and then light one candle. In our own personal lives, hope often looks like this tiny flickering flame. It's the quiet voice that might say, "I'll try again tomorrow." It's the stubborn refusal to let bitterness have the final say. It's the choice to be kind, even when the world has been unkind to us. In our, dare I say, Unitarian tradition, dangerous word, we don't believe that we are saved by a light from outside. We believe that we are transformed by a light from within. We are the fuel. Our experiences, our struggles, even our boxes of darkness, they are what we burn to create that light of wisdom and compassion. But we must be careful to distinguish between optimism and hope. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but the Czech statesman Václav Havel once said, I watched Eurovision yesterday and I can't pronounce any of those names, so Václav Havel once said, "Hope is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out." So optimism as a calculation is looking at the odds and deciding things will probably be fine. But hope? I think hope is an orientation of the spirit. The guiding star gives us the sense that our journey makes sense in the grander scheme of the universe. The lighthouse gives us the sense that we are not alone in the storm. And the candle flame gives us the strength to endure in the present moment. Now, when we link these three together, I know, dangerous again for a Unitarian to say three, we find a hope that is indestructible. It's a hope that acknowledges the shadows of 2026, the climate anxieties, the ongoing conflicts, God, do we know about those, the economic and political strife, wow, and chooses to shine anyway. So as we prepare to leave this space and re-enter the world, I invite you to consider, which light do you need today? Perhaps you are feeling aimless. If so, look to the guiding star. Reconnect with your deepest values. Ask yourself, what is the North Star of my life? Perhaps you are feeling battered by the waves of life. If so, look to the lighthouse. Reach out to members of this community. Let the collective light of those around you show the way to a safe harbour. Don't try to navigate the shoals alone. Or perhaps your spirit feels dim and fragile. If so, tend to your candle flame. Be gentle with yourself. Protect that small flicker of yes inside you. Remember that even the smallest light is a victory over the dark. In our faith, we do not pray for the sun to never set. We pray for the courage to be in the light while it's dark. We're keeper of the stars, builders of the lighthouse, and bearers of the flame. So let us carry hope into this world. Be the light that someone else is looking for. And may we always remember that while the dark is vast, it's the light that tells the story. Amen and blessed be. You've already heard a lot of me this morning. I'm not too sure if this congregation is used to prayer or meditation, but I'd ask for a bit of both. So I'll ask to move to a time of contemplation, and then we'll have our musical offering from Eric Satie. But first, if I may, I will say a prayer to whichever god, goddess, spirit, or deity which you may or may not believe in. So let us pray as you feel comfortable. Matriarch, patriarch, great architect, spirit in and around us all. Divine presence, known by many names and felt in many ways. In this season of uncertainty, we ask for the strength to hold hope for one another when our own feels small. May our diverse voices join in a single melody of courage. Remind us that even the smallest light can pierce the deepest shadow, and that our shared humanity is a bridge no storm can wash away. Grant us the clarity to see beyond the immediate storm. grant us the courage to be the light we are searching for. May we be sustained by hope, moved by love, and anchored in peace. Together we breathe. Together we hope. Amen. I don't think I need to offer any concluding words to this service to tie it all together. But this story seemed to say it all for me. It's a bit unusual for me to use two stories in one service. Buddy, you've been a superstar, and you've sat nice and quietly and love that. You can come back to any of my services again. Superstar. Yeah, and Suze, yeah. Gary, you've said it, I should, yeah, fine. But this is a short story, and I want you to remember it. It's a short one. It's about a starfish on the beach. Walking along the beach one day, a young man noticed that there was thousands of starfish that had been beached up on the shore. And the tide was going in and out. The starfish were stranded. There is no way that they could all get back into the water, and within an hour or so, they'd probably be dead. In the distance, he noticed a woman who was picking up the starfish from the beach and throwing them back into the sea, rather unceremoniously. So he walked up to her and he asked, "What are you doing?" "Young man, I'm throwing the starfish back into the sea." And she picked up one and chucked it back in. "But why are you bothering? There are thousands of them. What you do isn't going to make any difference." "I'll make a difference to this one." And she threw one into this receding tide. Just a wee story. I'll be finishing with the following words and asking Noel to explain the short chalice. And then we'll sing our last hymn of the morning, Purple 102. The version I have is a piano version that has 3 verses. I don't know which ones you're used to doing, but we have to sing this one a cappella. We have to all sing together this one. I'll try to lead. And the last thing is that I ask you, I said at the start, I am a student. I require feedback. So you may not want to do that to me in person. Please, in fact, do not. Don't send me and bombard me with emails. Send them to Sue, who will collect them for me and send them to me. I need your feedback so that I can learn. It's only in learning that I get better. So thank you. Our extinguishing chalice words. My friends, thank you. I say thank you from us to us all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your singing. Thank you for your silence, your presence, and your prayers. For it is by your being that we can all know the depth of being. It is by your singing in silence that we can know a unity in togetherness. And it is by your presence that we can know that other presence here, being together. Thank you. Thank you. Purple 102. Words will be on the screen. Get wealthy peoples. Thank you, everyone.